Good evening, friends. Welcome to the Buck Collectors Club 20-year anniversary. It's hard to believe it's been 20 years. My name is John Forsman. I'm president of the club. I'll be your MC for tonight, and I hope I do a good job for you. Vern Taylor, our club founder, started the club 20 years ago with very few members. He started to recruit members at the Blade Show and ran a small ad in the Blade magazine. The newsletters were 2-page mimeographs. Weren't very fancy, but we've come a long way. We're now 1,500 plus members. We have international members, and one of them here, Herbert Knoll, would you stand up? Herbert is from Germany, and I think he gets the record. I believe Herbert has traveled the farthest. And we also have our newest club member here tonight, new lifetime member Garnet Wilson. Would you step up, please? Or stand up? There we go. Congratulations and welcome to the club. As I said, we have 1,500 members now. Our newsletters are professionally printed, thanks to Bruce Dollinger. 16 pages with color photos, and we're very proud of them. Larry Oden and his 20-year committee has worked very hard on preparations to make this event a very special one. We've got a lot of things lined up. You're going to have a great time tonight. The seminars are going to be top class. Tours of the Buck Factory. Getting to talk and meet and greet with CJ and Chuck is going to be a great thing for us. At some point during the night, toward the end of the banquet, we're going to send 2 girls around to take totals. Chuck has been gracious enough to invite us all out to his and Lori's house Friday afternoon after our event. And we just want to get a head count so we can let them know, so Chuck knows how many burgers to cook or sandwiches to make. So just talk amongst yourself and get totals for the tables, if you will. We also have an event journal on the table down here. If you'll sign in and give us some pointers, whether you've enjoyed it, the highlights of it, and give us an idea on how to do the best job we can for the 25th anniversary. We've got a lot of giveaways tonight. All these bags are going to be given away, and I'd like to start with one right now. If everybody will pick up their dessert dish, underneath your dessert dish is a napkin, and if you have a sticker on yours, the centerpiece of your table is now yours. You're the winner of it, and when the event's over, you'll get to take it. Thank you. We're going to do some door prizes right now. Courtney, will you come up and help me, please?
Use the mic.
I'm cute and ready, so when you are.
Okay. 612. Should be a lady. 612. 612. Any 612s out there? There. Go ahead and pull out one for men. Hey Larry, can you help me do a moment?
Okay, for the guys, it's 501. Hey!
Doing more?
All right, you just did it.
501. 5, 6, 9 for the ladies. Five, 4, 3 for the guys.
Yeah.
Okay, 6, 1, 4 for the girls. Six, 1, 4. Five, 9, 5.
Real shy. They're real shy.
Are we done?
In fact, when he made the knives back in the 40s, early 40s, he was using old canopies off of old prop warplanes out near the air base, and that's how he started using the plastic. Well, he started buying the plastic in San Diego in different colors, and of course now those knives are really heavy collectibles. My father decided to go to a wooden handle, and that's when he would buy lignum vitae and cut it up in blocks, and I would watch him as a kid, put them in the oven in the little shop there, and turn the electric heater on, and he'd burn all that sap out of there so that it wouldn't crack later on as a handle on a knife. Then he would shape them out with the aluminum butt cap, and those are highly sought after as well. And then of course we get, I know that at times my dad, because that was his only form of bringing in funds for supporting his family, that he had to be wondering if he was really doing the right thing. If he could have just raised up his hand and said, I've had enough, I need to go find a job. But he stuck with it. We didn't get very many funds in the spring. So what happens in the spring? Well, people mow their lawns and they prune their trees and plants and everything. We can sharpen lawnmowers, tools. And I was in high school, and when I graduated in '54, I started working, on a regular basis with trying to get a little college in at the same time. But I learned how to sharpen saws and lawnmowers, and so that business kept us rolling through the '50s. And about 1960, our pastor was a pretty business-minded guy, and he suggested to my dad, why don't you incorporate? He did get it started, developed board of directors, sold enough stock to get things started, and we were able to buy tooling for blades, and we started using 440C, which is a very high carbon, high chrome steel. The handles we made, phenolic handles, black handles, which we're still using to this day for the handle assemblies, and we had the molds made, and that was where we got away from files and started really making the knives. Very similar to what we're doing today, although now we have a lot of automatic equipment and a lot of employees putting out a lot of knives a day. After we incorporated, we selected the 6 knives, fixed blade knives, out of what my grandfather and father were making, and we started offering those to dealers. And my mom and dad would get out in their camper, and they'd head off and go into a town. They'd go to a phone booth, and my dad would kind of borrow the page that had all the sporting goods stores on it, and that was his itinerary for the next day or two. And he'd go to dealers. The dealers would, Dad would show him these great knives, and the dealers, once they heard the price of maybe $12, $14, including the sheath and everything, they said, you know what? I don't have an interest in this because our customers are buying knives at about 85 cents to $2. And my dad he was telling them that these knives are better. They're harder. The blades are harder. They'll hold an edge longer. And he says, look, if you're not interested in putting them in, why don't I suggest, or why don't you take a look at maybe putting them in on consignment? We'll put them in. When you sell one, you can send us the money. If you don't sell them in a couple of months, send them back to us. And the dealer, always with no risk at all, they were good with that. Not all of them did that. Some of them did put them in. But, none of those dealers ever sent them back. They just sent reorders. So our business was on a roll. It was starting to go. We immediately had to move in different quarters. It was a building in Congress Street area of San Diego, which is Old Town. And we were there for about 5 years, and that's where we developed tooling for the blades and handles and started producing with a new steel called 440C. It's very high carbon, high chrome steel that took and held an edge just beautiful. We ended up making the earliest knives immediately as we hired a few people. We designed with the blades were forged with tangs on them, and we actually would braze a little screw on the end of the tang, and there was the butt cap. After we slid the handle and all the trim on, the butt cap would slip on, and the little end of the screw would stick out the end, so we would put a little barrel nut in there. And now we made those for probably 3 or 4 years until we went to putting a hole in the tang and then sliding the butt cap over and drilling through the hole. Those knives with the barrel nuts are highly sought after, as well as the earlier knives that were created by my grandfather and my dad before we incorporated. Dealers suggested we make a folding knife, and so my dad and myself and a couple other board members, we talked about it. We went out and bought 3 knives on the market that were already being produced, a couple of Canadian knives and 1 American knife, and we ended up taking all the best features from all 3 of those knives, and then we added the look of the knife with the wood and the brass and the angled bolsters. In the development of the folding knife, this knife turned out to be the most popular knife, and it is still today the most popular knife we sell.
I think in the history of the cutlery industry.
Yeah, it was just something, if you build a product and there's a need, you got to have a need out there. Consumers have to have a reason to buy it, and that knife fit right into the hands of all the hunters. I mean, and they wanted something that was safe, something that you could it locked open so it wouldn't close in your fingers, and also it closed up in a real compact sheath on the belt. Well, this was safe, and boy, it was just unbelievable, the sales on that, and they continue to this day. It is extremely popular. So that was something that I think really we were blessed with and my dad was the major influence on putting that knife together. And I remember we had an old, really old guy. I mean, he had to be in his 90s or late 80s, a fellow by the name of Guy Hoosier. And he was our whole engineering section, and he was the guy that built the prototype. And it was pretty rough, it wouldn't, the lock, it was kind of hard to get that lock pushed in so that it would open, I mean, there's so many memories, it's hard to, corral them all. But that one really stuck with us, because that knife today is better than it's ever been. I mean, all of the bugs are worked out of it, and it's everybody recognizes it. The police departments all over the country picked it up as their knife of choice.
A lot of people collect the 110 because all the changes that we made, created little nuances to collect. But every one of those changes was an improvement, was a product improvement. Extra rivets, thicker material, different steel, different inserts. And, everything was a product improvement.
Yeah, and that helped us date the knives for all the collectors. So it worked out very well.
This was just an excerpt of the CD that's available at the Buck store. Joe got plenty of them in. I really recommend it. It's highly educational, but the best part about it is the end of it with the bloopers. And I must say that Sarah is the star of the blooper section. Well worth it. Also, the slideshow that we showed prior to that, that will be included. This whole event is being videotaped. All the seminars will be videotaped. We'll be taking orders at the club table at Buck tomorrow, and that slideshow will be included in that DVD. Go on and enjoy your meal, and we'll continue after we're finished eating.
Be here together, these wonderful people, all the collectors. We pray that you'd bless this food to our bodies. Thank you for safe trips for all of us to get here. We pray in my name, amen.
Board member Bruce Dollinger and his wife Rosie. Board member Frank Meek. Board member Pat Donovan and his wife Jan. And our liaison officer with Buck, Joe Hauser and his wife Mary Lee. Larry, could you come on up? Larry Oden is our 20-year anniversary committee chairman. And as you can tell by looking around, Larry has done an awesome job. He has put countless hours in the last probably 2 years, but it's really come to a head in the last 6 months. He's worked real closely with the women at Details. How about if you two stand up and let's give a round of applause to Tony and to Larry, you're probably aware that we had something in mind here. But as a special thank you to you and all your efforts, we have a little something here. Joe and I have been working on this, and we'd like to present this to you and thank you for all your efforts.
Oh, thank you. It's gorgeous. I would like to thank my committee members and volunteers. A lot of people did a lot of work. I was telling someone today that when we go to plan an event like this, we understand that many of you are using your vacation time. You are spending a good sum of money to travel and come out here, and we did not and do not want to disappoint you. And it's our fondest hope that when the event ends Friday, you will say it was worth every cent and I had a wonderful time. When we set these things up at the end of each 5-year period and we get ready to start the next one, it seems like it's way off in the future. And so then when we get down to about 3 years to go, we contact Chuck and CJ and we say, give us some dates. And so they look at their calendars and what's going to work for them, and they give us some dates, and then a little bit more time goes by. And we say, okay, we've got some time, and a little more time goes by. And then when we get down to about the last year and a half, we really start getting serious. And then we get real serious when we get down to about a year to go. And the last 6 months, I would have to go back to my paying job Monday. The people that have helped, some of these people were on the committee, some people just served as volunteers, And I think I've got everyone's name. If I missed anyone, please forgive me. It is an oversight. First of all, and I think I've got these alphabetically, when we met last September at the Ohio show, a bunch of our committee members that were there all got together and we were just brainstorming all kinds of ideas and throwing things out. And I was writing notes so fast that when I got home and looked them over, I couldn't read some of them. But one of the people that was involved was Carolyn Beal. And Carolyn passed away about 1 month later, and it was just a shock to us. And Carolyn was so excited about this event. She has her family here, and I love them dearly, and they're neighbors of mine just a few miles away from where I live back in Indiana. And Charlie, I'm so glad that you and Sherry and Rusty and Nicholas and Courtney came, and we sure appreciate everything that Carolyn did. Some of the people that I will name are not here tonight, but if you are here, when I name you, will you please stand up and remain standing, and then we'll ask for a round of applause at the end. The next person is Chuck Buck's wife, Lori. Lori is not here tonight. Karen Cook of Buck Knives has helped us and served on the committee in many ways. Jen Eshelman of Buck Knives has done a great deal and has been very helpful. Bill Finney from Oregon has been a volunteer that has helped us immensely this week. We have had the Forsman family, Courtney, Georgia, Jack, Joan, John. Ask you all to stand, please. I know half the room is standing. My good friend from Indiana, Alan Horner, has been a great help. Joe Hauser has done a great deal of work, an immense amount of work. He's done as much work as anyone, and we appreciate that. Brian Hugh, one of our board members, has been on the committee and helped. You were greeted today by Mike and Melinda Cairns. Mike and Melinda, would you please stand? We thank you for your help today. Barb and Jean Merritt have done a great amount of help. Given a great amount of help, and we thank you guys for all that you've done. And then, of course, details event management, Sherry Sen and Tony Hansen. Thank you so much.
One of the smartest things that I've ever done as president of the Buck Collectors Club was appoint Larry as 20-year chairman. He did such a great job with the 15-year event. It was an easy decision to make him our 20-year event leader. I'd like to introduce some VIPs now, and when I call you all's name, if you could please stand up. CJ Buck. Josh Buck. Chuck Buck. Larry and Betty Wise, did they make it?
Yes.
Yes.
Rusty and Marge Donahue. Sarah Buck, but you can call her Blooper. George and Sandy Stenzel. John Hunt and his wife Sarah. Billy Bates. Captain Charlie Toft. Stephanie Corley, who is responsible for our 20-year logo. Wild Bill Cody, and they don't call him Wild for nothing. Leroy Reamer. Jen Eshelman. Excuse me. David Yellowhorse. Michael Prater and his wife Carolyn. And Ina Johansson. And we're going to do another prize drawing. Courtney, could you come on up and give me a hand?
$605.
Full men's.
$535.
Hey. Wow.
583. $511.
Hey.
$593.
Chuck, could you come on up now and speak to us?
Nice to be here. It's so fun to meet everybody. You know, we see each other so little. Of course, you guys make all kinds of shows throughout the year, I know. So you see each other, but it's so great to see you here in Idaho. I hope you like it. We're expecting snow tomorrow. So you did bring coats, didn't you? Just kidding. I get the privilege. I met a man named Hooker McMahon. It's a funny name, yeah, I know, but he's not like that. He really is a good man. He loves buck knives, and he came by the plant, brought his grandson Joseph in, and we sat down and just had a chat. This was a number of months ago, and I think probably he's one of the youngest life members, I believe Joseph is. So I have the privilege of presenting a knife to him, and I'd like for Joseph to come on up if he would. Where's Joseph? Handsome young guy. Here he comes. Well, they don't get any better looking than this little guy, I'll tell you, right? Did you know this was going to happen?
No.
Yeah, he doesn't say much. But that was good. Just like I told him. Anyway, we've got a great knife. I'm going to take it out. Would you like to hold this? And you can go ahead and talk to people if you want. Just go ahead, tell them what your favorite cereal is. This is Joseph's knife. Did you know about this?
No.
Yeah, say no. Okay. But this is one of our knives, the 2000 Collector Club knife that is going to be available. 120 without a blade group. There's a lot of neat things about it. Beautiful knife, and it's very sharp. So, anyway, congratulations. You want me to take that back? Okay. Okay. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you, Chuck. Let's keep those prizes going. Courtney, could you come on and give me a hand again?
$6.15. $5.16.
We got two numbers.
$5.38. $4.88.
Thank you. CJ, could you come on up and speak to us now, please?
Well, I think his dad pretty eloquently put, it is humbling that you have all traveled so far to see our little knife company. I think you are going to be very impressed. I know I am. The opportunity to relocate out of Southern California, come up to North Idaho. People all evening have been asking me if I miss Southern California, and I say, no. It's just it was a fresh start for us. It was an opportunity to take some manufacturing philosophies and embody them in a brand new facility where there were no rules, there were no walls, there were no monuments. We were able to design a factory around the new methodologies that we were manufacturing knives with. And I just have to give the folks that pulled it off a lot of credit. And you'll see that tomorrow as you walk through. It's very clean, very streamlined. It's very impressive. There's a certain sense of order that you can feel immediately when you walk in the door, and that it just makes me very proud when I walk people through. I really wanted to just to say thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
Every once in a while, a Buck employee comes along that just does an above and beyond the call of duty in helping the club. Jane Davey was one such lady, and there's another amongst us now. Go ahead.
Would Ina Johansson please come up? Ina Johansson, MVP, most valuable person. I've got to turn, I can't read the little lights. Most valuable person to our club. While fulfilling her multiple job functions for Buck Knives Incorporated, Ina has always been available to help club members and assist club officers. Her friendly, can-do approach makes her stand out among her peers, and she is greatly appreciated by our many club members. Her willingness to go above and beyond the call of duty gives evidence of her servant's heart. Thank you, Ina.
All right, Courtney, let's do some more prizes.
Good work, huh? Yeah.
$584. $584. $531.
Yo, bingo.
$542.
Did you say 541?
42.
542, is it a male?
Yeah.
We're getting our money's worth out of Larry.
478.
I'll get this one taken.
$544.
There we go.
Hey.
The next thing we're going to do is going to be one of the most memorable to me, I think, of this whole event. We have two members here, a father and a son. And the son did 2 deployments in Iraq as an Army medic. And I, for one, am very proud of him and honored that he was a Buck Collectors Club member who served in Iraq. He served our country well. Could you come up, Brent? Could you come up, Chuck? Oh, not Brent, Aaron, I'm sorry. When he was in the Army, and we're so proud and honored that you carried a buck knife in Iraq. Thank you for your service. As a token of our appreciation.
I'm just like your dad, I can't read it.
Let's get the young eyes to read it.
Well, thanks for your service in our country from your friends in the BCCI.
I didn't want to hog the mic or anything, but I am so proud of our guys that are over there. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Thanks.
All right, while we're doing these special recognitions, our newsletter, I spoke about a little bit earlier, 16 pages, color photos. One of the things that keeps our newsletter going each quarter is the people that contribute to it. Articles, they just keep coming in, and it makes my job of putting them together a lot easier. Issue in and issue out, there's 3 people that continually give me newsletter articles, columns if you will, and that's Chuck, CJ, and Joe. If you all come up, we've got a little something for you. Larry, could you come up and give me a hand too, please? Chuck, we've got some gift cards here from the BCCI for some restaurants in town.
Wow.
We heard you like to eat.
It's just a rumor. Pretty obvious.
Thank you for your contributions. No problem. Joe, for you, we have a gift card to Cabela's. We understand you like to hunt. CJ, for you, we have a 20-year anniversary, 120. Thank you.
I should be giving this to John for how many times he has to remind me.
Thank you all really for your help. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, Courtney, let's give some more prizes away. You should have wore tennis shoes, Larry.
I need you.
509.
Well, looky there. All right. This is your lucky day.
Great.
498.
You're not supposed to tell them no, it's clear on the other side.
594.
You know it's going to be over there. Yeah.
594.
One of you ladies has 594, sure.
594. But actually, it's George's.
That doesn't look right, does it?
There's something fishy going on.
You said 594, right?
507.
There you go, George. I didn't get one. I didn't even get one.
586. $496.
Jim McClendon.
Thank you. All right, each year, running from March to March, we have our annual membership drive. And Alan Horner finally got beat this year. Alan came in second place, and we have a nice knife here that we'd like to award him. Alan, could you come on up? Got a beautiful cross lock here for you. Would you like to give us a little tutorial on? No? Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm not sure the total number of how many Alan signed up this year, but Vicki Burns came in first place. And Vicki, I'll bring it to you. You don't need to come up with your bone leg. Vicki worked really hard. Thank you, Vicki. Absolutely. We had that in mind when we did that for you. Excuse me. Let's give another round of applause, y'all, for our membership drive. I don't know about y'all, but I really enjoyed the meal tonight. It's good food, and we're going to have a catered lunch tomorrow, and it's all been sponsored by Buck Knives, and we thank you for that. Great meal, and thank you for your support. At the Blade Show last year, at a board of directors meeting, the board approved a Hall of Fame. We've been talking about it for quite a few years, and we finally approved it last year. Right now, we're going to do our inaugural class, which we approved this past June at the Blade Show during our board meeting. So we've got a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people that are going to be inducted into the inaugural class. We're going to have some plaques here. Also, there's a new section on the website that, as of right now, has not been filled up, but give our website administrator a little bit of time after this show, and we'll have some information up on the website. Frank, can you come up? And Pat also. This award is going to go to 2 people that aren't here, and Pat is going to accept it on their behalf.
The oldest institution known to mankind is marriage. Was established by the Lord God in the Garden of Eden sometime after He created all of this. God knew that Adam needed a helpmate, and He provided Eve to be his partner. Since the beginning, remains so. And this is fitting that 2 of our first inductees to the BCCI Hall of Fame are husband and wife, a team in the truest sense of the word. Murray and Judy Andrews have been the faithful ambassadors for the hobby of collecting buck knives and have represented the Buck Collectors Club with great distinction all over the Midwest. Hundreds of people have been introduced to our club and our hobby because of the tireless efforts of Murray and Judy, and they have done so entirely at their own expense. Recently, Murray and Judy exhibited a display of buck knives at their 18th consecutive Blade Show. It is certain that this is a Blade Show record for display longevity and is one that may never be surpassed. And I also want to interject that that's 18 different displays. There were no 2 displays that were alike. Murray and Judy have been instrumental in convincing many people to join the BCCI, and some of these individuals are in club leadership today, giving evidence to Andrew's leadership role in the member recruitment. For many years, Murray served as president of the BCCI. During his tenure, Murray was driving force behind our club's attainment of incorporation and nonprofit status. Judy was always by his side, helping accomplish what was needed. No one had to ask her to do something. She just saw what was needed and cheerfully took care of it. To both Murray and Judy, we offer a hearty thank you for all your efforts on behalf of the Buck Collectors Club. You are worthy recipients of inaugural membership to the BCCI Hall of Fame.
Ken, could you come up, please?
I'm very privileged and honored to have this opportunity. I'm going to have just as much trouble reading this as anybody does. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for me, and hopefully for many of you. As many of you know, I'm going to preface this article of this bit that I'm going to read. Vern Taylor was the founder of our club. And when Vern Taylor established the Buck Collectors Club, he had the permission and blessing of a key figure. That would be Chuck Buck. Without Chuck's enthusiastic support, the club would have started on very shaky Thankfully, Chuck shared Vern's vision and greatly encouraged Vern as he laid the club's foundation. After early growth of the club, Vern began to realize in 1991 that he had a tiger by the tail and he needed help. The demands of operating the club, coupled with Vern's other responsibilities at Buck Knives, were stretched very thin. Chuck stepped forward, offering Buck Knives corporate involvement, and the club then operated under Buck Knives' direction from 1992 to 1998, when it became a separate, self-supporting entity after 1998. That is. From the time of Buck Knives' corporate involvement through the present, Chuck has made tremendous contributions to our club. His column in the quarterly club newsletter is a highlight of each issue. In his travels promoting Buck Knives, Chuck constantly extols the advantages of BCCI membership, and many, many members have learned of and joined the club solely because of Chuck Buck inviting them to do so. At any club function that Chuck has attended, the effect he has cannot be overlooked. Chuck always attracts a crowd. He probably has to do with his shirts. And his popularity helps the growth and the perceived standing of the club. We thank you for that. We know that many of you are attending this event today in no small part because of Chuck Buck. Chuck often finds time to travel and include club events in his itinerary. When he serves as a display judge, those whose displays are chosen to win are especially pleased because the award is so very meaningful to them since it comes from Chuck Buck. I'm going to have to talk to Chuck about that. For crying out loud, who else's signature would you want on one of the Buck Knives blades? And so Chuck, we thank you for that too. Perhaps Chuck has made a visit to your part of the country, or maybe visited a retail store nearby you, or shared in his testimony in a church, as he often does. If you've been present, you've seen the turnout of Buck Club members, some of whom have drove many hours to have just a few words with Chuck. Now I ask you, do you know of anyone else who has such superstar status and yet is able to make any stranger feel like he has been a lifelong friend? And Chuck, I can say personally that ever since I've met you, I've felt like we've been long life brothers together. Especially when I beat you in the pool at your house. So it is with great privilege to Chuck, we offer you a thank you for all your efforts. And on behalf of the Buck Collectors Club, you are a worthy recipient of inaugural membership in the BCCI Hall of Fame. Please come forward.
Thank you so much. The recognition, I feel like I'm hogging a lot of stuff today, and I don't think I deserve it, but I remember in the early days that, you know, Vern got this show started and the club started, and the times that we talked and called on the phone, and a lot of the administrative issues, and Vern had really good vision of what this club should be, and I think it's happened exactly what he had in mind. By the way, you did beat me in pool, but I think I beat you the next game, and you still owe me $20. Thank you very much.
Matt, could you come up, please?
Any organization, seems there's often one person who becomes the face of that organization. For the BCCI, Paul Lenz was the face, the heart and the soul of our club. When Paul passed away on July 11, 2001, his loss left a void that has never been filled, nor is likely to be filled in the foreseeable future. Paul's passion for the collecting and display of buck knives was infectious. His single-handedly was responsible for most of the club's growth during our first decade of existence. Many of our most active members trace their involvement with the club back to Paul's influence. His display of gold-etched buck 110s was a sight to see, but he always used the display to promote buck knives in the Buck Collectors Club. As the club grew, Paul purposely scaled back his tremendous display to make room for new exhibitors to display their collections. Year after year, Paul personally supplied the club at his expense promotional items and raffle knives for fundraising. He also footed the bill for the 1999 and 2000 club directories. Perhaps Paul's most valuable contribution to the BCCI involved his heart for people. Paul had a way of making a newcomer feel welcome and among friends, whether in a board meeting, meeting patrons at a show, or in knife transactions over the telephone. Paul brought people together around the hobby of collecting buck knives. He was always eager to be a voice of reason, kindness, and his demeanor proved the reality of his spirit. While others might find a way to divide, Paul demonstrated a heart for unity when others might complain. Paul found a way to turn complaints into opportunities to edify people and help the Buck Collectors Club. To Paul, we posthumously offer a hearty thank you for all your efforts on behalf of the Buck Collectors Club. You're a worthy recipient of inaugural membership in the BCCI Hall of Fame.
So honored if he was alive to receive this award. And he'd be so proud of the way this club has grown in the past few years. Gene, could you come up, please?
Ernie Logan is a founding member and former advisory board member of the BCCI who has greatly contributed to the growth and success of the club. Ernie was a pioneer BCCI displayer at the Blade Show and also regularly brought his varied collection of buck knife displays to the Ohio Show. Ernie's knowledge of individual buck knives was a great help to the newer collectors because he was always willing to share so much of what he knew about the story behind the knives. Those who worked with Ernie on the club advisory board recall his tenacity and insistence that the board decision be beneficial to club members, to all you guys. You see, Ernie was a champion in representing the needs of the club members. To Ernie, we offer a hearty thank you for all your efforts on behalf of the Buck Collectors Club. You are a worthy recipient of the inaugural membership in the Buck BCCI Hall of Fame.
Chuck, could you accept this on Ernie's behalf?
Ernie's not here. Ernie and Arlene and their granddaughter came into Buck Monday morning to be here. They just before they got here, her mother was just about passing away back in Ohio. Sister called her, and Ernie wanted me to make sure to let you know that he misses being here. He was really looking forward to it. Ernie's health is not well, but he came all that way, and unfortunately they had to turn right around and head back to Ohio. But I wish he was here to receive this because he's, when I first met him, he wanted me to go out and sit on his motorcycle and take my picture on his motorcycle. And I'll never forget it. But Ernie is a special guy. Ernie and Arlene, special people. And from Ernie, thank you very much.
Eugene Shoemaker was a founding member and advisory board member of the BCCI who served literally as a walking billboard for buck knives and the Buck Collectors Club almost every day for the rest of his life after he joined the club. You see, Shoe could always be found wearing a buck hat, BCCI shirt, or BCCI jacket in some combination. As a retired truck driver, Shoe stayed busy working as a part-time courier for a mortgage title company. The job entailed travel in 3 counties around South Bend, Indiana, and Shoe was known in every pawn shop, flea market, and antique store in the region because he stopped in regularly looking for buck knives. Shoe single-handedly started and financed a local knife club, the Michiana Knife Collectors Club, and everyone he met heard about buck knives and the Buck Collectors Club. Shoe was a regular at almost every NKCA show in Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and Missouri. He also made the other knife shows in Chicago and Wisconsin much of the time. Every regular dealer knew Shoe was looking for buck knives, and many of them kept their buck knives under the table, allowing Shoe the first chance to purchase. Shoe's passion for knives was nearly matched by his love for children, and at every show he could be found giving buck knives to parents of children who stopped by his display. Nothing pleased Shoe more than seeing a child's face light up with a smile upon receipt of one of his buck knives. Shoe loved to bring unusual displays to the BCCI shows. He almost always had a one-of-a-kind, factory error knife or oddity of some sort that was part of his display. Sometimes his entire display featured such knives, and he could always be found discussing what made a knife unusual. Shoe not only enjoyed knives, he especially enjoyed talking to people about buck knives. When Shoe passed away on December 20th, 2004, the BCCI and Buck Knives lost a very dear friend and a wonderful ambassador. To Shoe, we posthumously offer a hearty thank you for all of your efforts on behalf of the Buck Collectors Club. You are a worthy recipient of inaugural membership in the BCCI Hall of Fame.
Bruce, can you come up next, please? One of my favorite memories of Shoe, when Courtney here, our ticket puller, was a little girl, Shoe would pop his dentures halfway out of his mouth and smile at Courtney. And she would say, "Dad, did you see that?" Shoe was a character.
Well, he's been alluded to several times this evening. I believe this is the last one, John? Oh, one more, okay. I have the privilege tonight to read this document that Larry Oden put together, and it's about Vern Taylor. I don't know how many of you had the privilege of knowing him, but he was a tremendous individual. The BCCI would not exist if not for the vision and the dream of one man, Vern Taylor. Vern was a sales representative for Buck Knives, who in 1969 began to collect the knives he was selling. As Vern explained, he noticed that the USA had been added to the tang stamp to allow export of Buck Knives into Canada. Thinking this might lead to something, Vern began something that history has shown to be significant and that has led to our gathering today. It took another 20 years before Vern's idea culminated in the organization of this club. But every good idea has to begin somewhere. Vern also made a major contribution to the collecting of Buck Knives when he contributed all of the Buck sections to Levine's Guide to Knives and Their Values. Although it has now been updated, the basic information remains as an integral part of Blade's Guide to Knives. Vern's many articles in the club newsletters have provided the starting point for most of what is now known about many of the Buck knife models that we collect.
Without his research and profile writing, our basic knowledge would have been greatly diminished. The BCCI has made its biggest impact on the hobby of knife collecting by virtue of club members consistently showing up at the Blade Show with fantastic displays of buck knife collection. Vern was the driving force behind choosing the largest, most important knife show as a vehicle for our club's involvement. He further mentored many club members to develop their displays to the highest level, one that results in BCCI collections consistently winning the top awards at these shows. His role in judging the display collections and the advice he offered allowed members to learn from someone who truly knew how to build a winning display. To Vern, we posthumously offer a hearty thank you for all of his efforts on behalf of the Buck Collectors Club. He is most definitely a worthy recipient of the inaugural membership of the BCCI Hall of Fame.
Elgin Thomas is a founding member and a former advisory board member of the BCCI. He has greatly contributed to the growth and success of the club. For many years, Elgin was a faithful displayer at the Blade and Ohio shows, and he was always eager to share his knowledge of buck knives with show patrons. One of Elgin's outstanding attributes was the way he reaches out to people, and he has earned the respect of club members for his even-handed approach in dealing with others. Elgin not only talks the talk, but he walks the walk in his fair dealings with people. He also has the reputation of helping new members learn the ropes. Elgin has often been seen assisting rookies with carried knife displays into shows, patiently answering questions and quietly helping with setup. He has always had the knack for befriending new displayers and for helping them fit it right into the group. As an advisory board member, Elgin's leadership played a significant role in the development of the Buck Collectors Club. He was instrumental in guiding the club along its path towards incorporation. Among insiders, Elgin was known to vote with his heart and for standing up for his convictions. He was an inspiration to other board members. No one can tell a story like Elgin. He has regaled the group time and time again with his funny tales. Elgin's personality and leadership by example was a key component in the club's development. As a new board member joined the club leadership, Elgin played a key role in helping them assimilate. The BCCI was blessed by Elgin's efforts. To Elgin, we offer a hearty thank you for all your efforts on behalf of the Buck Collectors Club. You are a worthy recipient of the inaugural membership into the BCCI Hall of Fame.
Well, if you could accept that on Elgin's behalf. I'd be honored to. And Joe, after you sit down, if you can come back up, and Larry. We're going to go over the seminar schedule for tomorrow, instructions. You want me to sing or dance, folks, while they're talking?
Dance.
Believe me, you don't want any of them. Is everybody having a good time? By show of hands, do we have any charter members here this evening? We have one. Gene Bear is number 15, if I remember correctly. Right. Lowest number. No other charter members? Gene, I guess you're the oldest one in here.
I feel like it too.
Hurry up, guys, or I'm going to have to sing.
You're going to have to sing. Thank you while we did some housekeeping. First of all, I would like to introduce our seminar presenters to you. Even if you do not think you're interested in the topic, I urge you to go to the seminar. First of all, you will learn something. Secondly, you will be with some nice people. And thirdly, whoever's doing the seminar will have put in some time and effort, and it would be nice for you to show up and listen to what he or she has to say. The seminar presenters and the titles that we have are as follows. Starting tomorrow, we have David Yellowhorse and Gene Merritt doing the Yellowhorse knives. Will you guys stand, please? I don't think anyone knows who David Yellowhorse is. Thank you. Charles Toft is going to do the 300 and 700 series knives. Charlie, please stand. Jack Forsman will be giving a seminar on navigating the BCCI website. John Forsman and Leroy Reamer will be doing a seminar on a subject they know just a little bit about, the butt customs. Ably assisted by Wild Bill Cody. That's probably to make sure that Leroy doesn't get anything wrong. George Stenzel is going to do the 110s and 112s. And this gentleman knows a lot about 110s and 112s. I would love to sit in on his lesson over and over and over. John Hunt, Orem etched blades. John, please stand. And of course, the factory tours will be put on by Joe's crew there at Buck. Then on Friday, we will have someone's going to give a display, a winning display seminar, and that's this guy standing before you. Chuck Buck and Larry Wise are going to do a seminar on early Buck history. Larry, would you please stand? And that is going to be held in Chuck's office. It might get a little crowded in there.
Don't bring your animals or dogs or anything.
No animals, no alligators. Pat Donovan and Frank Meek will be doing a seminar on Buck literature and advertising. That will be a very worthy one. You will be surprised at what you can learn from advertising and Buck literature. Bruce Dollinger will be doing one on Buck locks, very popular collectible. And Joe Hauser will be doing one on Buck fixed blades. Just a little bit of information and background. Please, please read your handout carefully tonight. There is a lot of information in here that will be very important for you to follow and to know. We are looking at having a local television station at Buck Knives tomorrow morning to cover our event. Some of us are going to get out there very, very early tomorrow morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. Seminar presenters, I would like you to please be there at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And everyone else, if you could meet in the Buck cafeteria at 7:30. I know that's early, and I know you're on vacation, but we really need to do it this way because our turnout is so great, and the rooms, some of the rooms are rather small. We have to run enough multiple rotations through for everyone to be able to go to the seminars. There will be coffee available in the cafeteria, and the Buck Company store will be open at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think that's all I have. Joe, I'll let you talk about the store.
Well, Larry did such a thorough job. I don't have a whole lot left to say other than we're open at 7 in the store. If you could adhere to the schedule as far as your store time, that might help alleviate the rush. There's going to be a lot of people in the store. I've got all hands on deck. Everyone that works for me is basically going to be in the store. Yeah, anyone that brought a display, Larry was referring to people having to get there at 5 a.m. They'd like to interview you in the lobby, starting at about 5:30 in the morning. So if you brought a display, it's in the lobby, and you can get up that early. Come and join me. Bring coffee. Yes. Wow. I'm going straight there after here at the office. Oh yeah, real important. Make sure you wear closed-toed shoes so you can take the tour. Those of you planning on taking the tour. Let's see, other than no photography out on a tour, I can't think of anything else. I wouldn't try to pick anything up on a tour. It's usually hot or sharp or pointy or something. If the seminar presenters, if you have any last minute things that you need to talk to me about, make sure that your room, where it is, that you have everything you need. Come and see me. John Hunt, I have your overhead projector. I know you were wondering about that. I glued it back together. It works. So we're good. And I'll think of about a half a dozen other things as soon as I sit down. So, CJ.
The thing about, and I think it's KXLY Channel 4, and it's the morning news show. So the interviews that are going to happen are going to be live. So the people will be on TV right at that time. So if you're in your hotel and you're up, turn it to Channel 4 and you can check out the people that got there earlier.
Okay, there was a couple more things. Don't forget, if you plan on buying anything or even just being there, to have your lanyard. The Buck employees are going to be looking, making sure everybody has this so they know who you are, and if you appear lost, they can help you find your way. We're going to have directions available tomorrow, directions to Chuck and Lori's house for those of you going to the barbecue. And what else you got, Larry?
Carpool, please.
Carpool, please. Yeah, parking will be an issue. There's plenty of parking, but it's like this steep. So if you carpool, you'll get like up in nice level ground.
Also, please try to carpool tomorrow if you can. Friday parking will not be much of a problem at Buck because most production will not be running, but tomorrow production will be underway, so please try to carpool. Join up with people, save gas.
Yeah, there should be plenty of parking close. We've asked the employees to leave those spots open, so hopefully there'll be a lot of spots right in front of the building open. If it gets full up, you can park out on the street there. So.
Also, please wear your name tags, and remember your group number is on your color-coded tag. If you are going to take a factory tour or go to seminars, we need for you to have a color-coded tag on your name tag. Please wear your name tag at every BCCI event and for purchases at the company store. This will allow you to get the special discounts. You have to have this on.
For those of you who haven't been to the plant yet, real quick directions. If you get back on 90 heading towards Coeur d'Alene, it's exit 2, Pleasant View. You get off on that off-ramp, and when you get to the bottom of the off-ramp, you hang a right. Go down 2nd Street is Locksaw. Turn right onto that, and you can't miss it. So it's I-90 to exit 2, right turn, and then you can't miss it.
You go through one light.
Yep, one light. Are we done?
Thank you, Jeff.
Seminars, the excursions.
Yeah,
That's right. In a few minutes, we're going to send the 2 Courtneys around to take counts for the barbecue at Chuck. So if you haven't already, please get a total for each table together. Now, as far as the excursions are concerned, we did not have enough interest. Well, come on, stay up there. We did not have enough interest to do the organized tours. However, if you want to do them individually on your own, you can see Tony, and Tony's going to give you a little information anyway.
See how he just gave me the mic? I said I'd wave. Yes, we want everyone to be able to go and do and experience our home. We welcome you here. And so if you want to go shopping, or if you want to go out on the Spokane River, or if you want to go tour Lake Coeur d'Alene, we are happy to get you individual, or even if it's a, maybe you have a car full that would like to go, we can certainly get you directions to do that. In addition to those things that we had offered as group tours, if you will, in your hotel room is a visitor's guide, and it has a whole lot of other things that you might want to partake of, and we're happy to comment on those and get you settled in the right direction. So Sherry and I, now you wave, Sherry, okay. So we'll be hanging around this evening, and I'm not going out there at 5 o'clock, so I'll watch you on TV, and I'll be here in the hotel to help you if you're so interested. I know I love you, but I'm staying here.
Thank you, Tony. All right, the knife swap is tomorrow night, 7:30, right here in this room. We're going to have a live auction, silent auction, and anybody who just wants to bring a knife and sell it outright, please bring it. Everybody will be responsible for their own knife and their own sales. Bring as many as you can, because that's an exciting part of the event. We're getting close to the end here, folks. Does anybody have any questions that we can answer?
One comment.
One comment.
Make sure they all go over there and buy something in the store.
Yes, yes. Please go to the. Yes. Okay, right. Yeah. Before you leave, if you want, we'll have the table manned in the back there with the club logo merchandise. Woman, yes. It will also be set up at the Buck Plant tomorrow. And tomorrow, we're going to have a sign-up sheet for anybody who wants to buy a DVD of the event. We get that pre-ordered for you. Anybody have any questions? None? Okay. Don't forget the event journal over here, if you all can sign that before you take off. Larry, or have we missed anything?
I'm sure we have, but I don't know what it is.
We can't remember what we missed. Oh, the cups, yes. Underneath the centerpieces, we're going to remove them and take that little piece of marble off, and there's a cup under there. Everybody gets a cup that's been sitting at the table. Courtney, and Courtney, the other Courtney, Charlie's Courtney. If y'all could go around now and take those counts. Folks, before you get up and mingle, if you could get these figures to the girls.
One of you start, I guess, right here and go that way. The other one go that way. Okay? I'd start right here. Start right here and work that way.
Do you have a schedule? Any schedule?
How many years